Deep breath. Sorry, I was supposed to think that, not say it. Thank you all for coming. Welcome. Just a little addendum for why I think it's so important for us to do these nights. Because sometimes we don't see ourselves in the best way. Sometimes we see ourselves as what's going on right now in our head. And I think it's really cool to have someone who loves you, like a parent, a teacher, a friend, tell you what qualities they see in you. And maybe if you get a chance, if you're not coming on stage today, you might go ask somebody who cares about you what quality they would give you, because I think you might be surprised. Last night, I was organizing my thoughts, and I was thinking about all the qualities and all the kids, and I was getting this really awesome feeling of peace. And so, actually better than most of my meditations. And, which isn't very hard, but it's still something. And so I just want to say, and I'm not going to say this probably ever again, but you people bring me a lot of peace, so thank you. So for the next stage, I think we're going to have the people come up while we talk about them for maximum discomfort. So I'd like to call Chandan up to the stage. So I was trying to think about what quality to give Chandan. I was trying to give him something that was really deep. And so I was like, oh, maybe wisdom. I was like, no, that's not deep enough. Or maybe courage, that's not deep enough. So I just went straight to the source and gave him depth. So Chandan, last year, this is also kind of a piggyback on last year's quality of transformation, because last year he went through a huge shift, big energy changes, stepped into the person he's going to be in the next stage of his life. But sometimes when we do that, I think we've all been there, we learn a big lesson, we take a big step, and then we're like, okay, we're good. And then the next day we don't have that quality anymore. It disappeared. You let it go. Don't do it. Chandan, I saw really grab on to the transformation, the steps, the progress that he had made in his last year, and really bring it into this year. And I saw that in his relationships. Oh, you covered my notes. I saw that in his relationships. I saw it in just the self-honesty that he had, and the moments that he would come up to me, and just the courage to just say, yeah, I've got this problem, and I've identified it, and now I'm going to do something about it, which is actually the biggest thing of all, because we're all pretty aware of our issues, usually, but the courage to actually do something about it requires a lot of depth. And so there are many, many words that I could use to describe China this year, but my favorite, and the least ironic, is depth. And I thank you for a great year. Good luck.
Brian didn't really tell me what he was going to talk about, so I had a slightly different take on depth. Well, not untrue, it's not the same as Brian's, but it's kind of the same. When I'm interested in something, I go fully into it. I don't just kind of half research something. I go all the way into a project, fully immerse myself, and I just love doing that. But when something doesn't interest me, I don't do that at all. But this year, I've been really working on, even if something doesn't totally enthuse me, I still try really hard to get deep into it and work on it as if I were excited about it. So, thank you, Brian, for that award.
Yeah. Next, I'd like to call Asya up. Asya is very fun. And this year I decided to give an award, recognize the quality in her of power. Now it's said that great power comes great responsibility. It also is on the Wonder Woman poster. Now all of the things that I've noticed about her are not superhero specific, but those two do pop out at me. At the beginning of the year, I didn't know her that well, and she didn't know us that well, although she had come to our camp. And so usually when that happens, people have trouble maybe being outward, they get a little introverted, and that is not something that Asya struggles with. She has the power to just be there, be fully there, and some people have accused her of just being loud, and loudness does not equal power. However, there's actually a deep, deep sense of power underrunning all of it. I've seen her really own that this year. And it's the power that she has to empathize, and the power to laugh until she falls on the floor, and the power to just be completely, fully herself and free. And so it's been amazing to see her work on relationships, boyfriend, her sister, her family, and just like dive straight in and say, I'm in this to win it. I've been very impressed with your spirit, Asya. So thank you for this. I award you I don't really award you. It's the quality that's already in yourself, of power.
So power is a quality that I've always felt difficulty understanding. So with power comes responsibility, like what Brian said. And because of this, I think I've always tended to kind of run away from it, or not use it to its full potential. So anybody who knows me knows that I'm really talkative, maybe annoyingly so. And I have found that at times it's difficult to differentiate being loud to being powerful. So this is my first year at the Living Wisdom School, and coming here has taught me much about how to kindle my power. And I've learned how to use the abilities I already have and to kind of manifest them into becoming a more powerful person. And instead of running away from the duty and leadership that comes with power, I've begun to embrace it and welcome it.
I'd like to call Ignacio up to the stage. When I thought about Ignacio's qualities, Ignacio has a number of qualities, like us all, and he has a deep sense of dharma, a deep sense of what's right. He's dignified, but I wanted to give him a quality that I've seen specifically open up in this year, and that's the quality of open-heartedness. For me, it takes what Sri Peshwar said, that you can't take one step on the path without awakening the heart's natural love. And I think that applies to the spiritual path, but also applies to the path of life. And I've seen Ignacio take a big step this year. When I see him interact with his fellow students, I see him see someone who needs help, needs love, is sad, needs anything, I see him at first automatically, but then consciously go to help that person. He feels a natural connection to people, and I feel like he's really opened his heart. Like before, maybe it was automatic, it came from childhood or from his own experiences, but now I feel like he's making a conscious decision. And when I say conscious, I don't necessarily mean he's thinking about it, but I've seen the specific change that has happened in his spirit. And so that's why I'd like to give you the award of open-heartedness.
Open-heartedness. Tricky word. I believe it means to tune into people and your surroundings. It means accepting your friends' flaws and not expecting anything back from them. The reason why I like to help people is because when I first came here, I felt really, lonely. I didn't have much friends. It was first year, didn't know much English as well. And I don't think people should feel that way. So that's why I just try and, first day, just be my friend and stuff like that. And I can see myself through them because I remember how I used to be and how I felt. So although I'm helping them, I'm helping myself as well. So, thank you.
And facets to come around for our 11th grade.
So as I give these awards to the rest of our 11th graders, most of you know already we have 4 seniors this year. After we give our awards to our seniors, they'll also then have their opportunity to give their senior speech, which is a time for them to show what they've learned about themselves, about the world, and a chance to perhaps also express gratitude. But really, if you've seen our senior speeches in the past, it's a very, very beautiful and sacred time because we don't always get to see the power that inner transformation has on us on the outside. And this is one of those rare moments where you get to see what a school and a community and just such an amazing experience that we offer here through shared effort, how that really transforms people and brings out something from the individual that I think very few schools on earth are doing right now. So, the first award that I'll be giving tonight is to Parto. So Parto Lee, would you please come join me on stage? Parto is a stoic soul. When I think of Parto, I think of a craggy mountaintop of devotion. I think of a solitary wolf that puts on the sheep's clothing, not to eat the sheep, but to play with them and to teach them, and also to learn lessons from them. I'm also sort of messing with Parto because he received an award for humor last year, which he totally hammed up, and this is payback. But in all seriousness, Parto this year is receiving an award for cheerfulness. That wasn't a joke. There we go. Parto is receiving the award for cheerfulness because I think he has learned an important lesson about love, about loving life, and also loving some unique passions and perspectives that he possesses really shine through, and allowing himself to share those unique passions and perspectives with everybody. Often Parto, to me, I'm sorry, it's going to continue to be funny, I realize now. Parto often to me feels like a clam. A clam with a beautiful pearl that nobody knows about. And every once in a while, it opens up. Maybe once in every 100 years. And when it does open up, everybody crowds around to see how beautiful it is. How perfectly round, how perfectly white. And the clam is learning too that the value of the pearl isn't in the pearl itself, but in the value of sharing it with others. And of course, Parto is not a clam. However, others do appreciate Parto. And if you've ever seen him at school or work or anywhere really, you'll oftentimes see his friends crowding around him to receive his teachings and to appreciate his beauty, which are his unique perspectives and unique passions that very few people on earth, I think, see the world the way that he does. Parto does have many profound lessons to teach, but I think the fact that he's added cheerfulness to his repertoire, to his self-expression, and to the way that he sees and interacts with life and with others makes him a very dynamic person, and I think, for many years to come, a profound teacher, a guide, mentor, and friend for us all. So Parto, for cheerfulness.
Well, this year has gone by very quickly, and I think that's due because I was very cheerful. When one is depressed or unhappy, time may seem like an eternity, but it wasn't like that this year. I want to thank a few people for supporting me in what I love to do, and that is Christian Salisbury and Benai Preston. I worked with inlay with Christian and also made earrings. While making these things, you learn patience and you know that you will make mistakes. And knowing that as long as you're cheerful, those mistakes are no longer mistakes, but just something to help you learn. Why did I get cheerfulness? Is it because of my smile? Is it because of my laugh? I want to thank what all of you have done for me. And I would like to come back next year.
You can't teach that. The next student I would like to talk about and give an award is perhaps our most helpful, hardest working, and one of the most inspiring students of this year, and also that I've ever had the privilege of teaching. And that student is Caden. Caden, would you please come up here? This year, Caden had a very profound experience. Amidst his life that he built around him, where he was one of the most helpful, hardworking, and inspiring students in the school, his life came crashing down around him. And to this day, he's still facing some hard truths about himself and his world. But if there's one thing that's true about Caden, it's that he's determined. In the past, determination for him was often a very physical thing, but now he's being asked to be determined with his mind, with his heart, and also with his soul. And he's doing it. Bit by bit, he's developing the quality he's being honored with today, which is perspective. For those of us who have never had a moment when our life comes crashing down around us, which I guarantee you, if you haven't had that experience, you will at some point. You really only have two options. You can either shut down, or you can reboot. You can re-envision the world around you. You can re-envision your behavior, your attitudes, your actions, your relationships, and of course your relationship with yourself. The amount of courage, humility, and fortitude it takes to do something like that is unfathomable and cannot be done alone and requires the help of loved ones around you in your life. And watching Caden go through this experience at this time during this year has really been one of the most profound moments of my life. Both to see the power of community, the power of love, but also the power of raw determination and the power of one person who only looks forward, who only thinks positively, who only knows that eventually he will be successful. To watch that person go through so much and come out in the end unshaken and refocused on a totally new perspective of success has been something that I will remember always. And so I want to thank you, Caden, for the power of your perspective and for the gift of your perspective for myself and I know for others as well. So for perspective, thank you.
I would say perspective is rarely thought of as a quality that you strive to be. But this year I feel like I needed to work on it a little bit. I'm trying to open up to others, trust in their input, and perceive their reality. It's been a challenging year, but with the help of Kamran and all my classmates being really supportive, I feel like I could overcome anything. And I don't know where I would be without them. So, thank you.
The next award I'd like to give goes to Kahea. Kahea, will you please come up? Kahea is one of my students, but also one of my teachers. And he knows this. We've been learning together on a similar road for the last 5 years, is it?
Sounds right.
5 or 6 years. I often find that we are working on the same lessons together, the same parts of ourselves at the same time. This school offers teachers and students a unique experience to be so in tune that we can automatically incorporate the lessons that we learn for ourselves with each other. So when students learn things about themselves, teachers also learn things about themselves, and vice versa. It's a community of learning. And Kahea, I've watched work extremely hard on the award that he's getting today, which is an award for balance. He's worked hard maintaining and learning the power of balance, not only with his studies and homework, but also with the work that he does after school every day for tuition, for his friends, for his family, for his community. When we put on our luau fundraiser, he was for a whole week, and definitely for at least 3 or 4 nights before the event, after finishing school and working on his studies, he would be working down in the market or down at the girls' dorm up till 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and then showing up next day early in the morning back to school again, mostly cheerful. But most people don't learn how much energy they can really put out in the world. The second that you lose balance, if you're living a high-speed life, if you're putting out a lot of energy, if you're serving, if you're creating, if you're helping others, you need to maintain a very delicate kind of balance within yourself and without yourself. Very few people achieve this, I think, in life. And so very few people really ever learn how much energy they can really put out. And to see someone like Kahea learning this lesson at his age, I think, has been also profound, just in my experience as a teacher, but also supremely joyful to see someone like Kahea who puts out so much energy also learn to be happy and joyful. Because when we are balanced, the weight that life sometimes feels, the weight that sometimes life puts upon us suddenly disappears when we're living a balanced life. And I've watched Kahea sort of like a donkey that has carried all this weight for so long, suddenly realize that not all of that weight is his, and also that the weight that is his can be balanced across his shoulders. And suddenly everything feels lighter and more fun. Of course, Kahea is not a donkey. Kahea is a dragon, I think. I think that's his power animal. And of course, dragons need balance as well. While they're aiming for success and for treasure and for outward success, they also have to learn along the way to pay attention to the little things in life, to friends, to family, and to the little things that give us joy. And so I've watched Kahea achieve that type of balance, and for this balance, he's receiving his award today. So thank you, Kahea.
I believe that more than some of the other awards that I've received, this one really does fit with me, and I really appreciate hearing this one because it feels like a true achievement to me. I've been working on trying to balance my school life and my home life and my work life and all these different things for well, for my whole life, my whole school career. And I feel like now that I finally got a small grasp on it, I can really start to hone and sharpen this skill and bring it into other parts of my life, and it'll be something that serves me for the rest of my life. And it's something that I'm very glad I got to learn here. So, thank you.
Annalisa. When Annalisa first came to our school, I really wasn't sure what to expect. Some of us were scared of this powerful Italian persona that suddenly immigrated into our country and our home. And actually, Annalisa and I did not get along at first. We can laugh now, but it wasn't funny at the time. And we had lots of misunderstandings with each other, not only with language, but something profound happens in the school when we are not in tune. Through the shared community that we all benefit from, we're given opportunity after opportunity to release whatever's holding us back, to have a bit of humility, and to restart in the spirit of love. And that's the award that Annalisa is receiving today, an award for love. And really, out of all the students in the school, I've seen perhaps Annalisa change the most this year. Not only as a student, and it's rare, oftentimes we receive students who are older in 11th or 12th grade, and it becomes very difficult because you oftentimes acquire habits, attitudes, and behaviors that are very formed and difficult to change in even by 11th and 12th grade, sometimes even after 12 years old. But to watch Annalisa go through this profound transformation this year of letting down her guard, of learning to trust people, learning to be herself and let other people be themselves, and to truly let go of her mind, because she is a philosopher at heart, but to truly let go of her mind's rationality and analysis and to live life through her heart, as all good Italians do, has been deeply inspiring and healing for me, and I think for all the teachers and students as well. Because Annalisa is a philosopher, but she's also a healer. And she's also a warrior. And she's also a true friend. And I think this time when she returns to Italy, they might be a little intimidated at what comes back through Annalisa. So for love.
So, love. Love is probably one of the most important things in life. Everybody needs it. And I feel that this year, I've learned how to open more with people and let them love me, showing them my most vulnerable parts. And I've learned how to love also people that are different than me, without judgment, just with comprehension and compassion. And I think that those qualities are all part of love. I live in a house with our 3 teenagers, and it's not easy. But I've learned to know them and love them like sisters. I understood that love is stronger and more important than the opinion of my mind. So, thanks.
So now we move on to our seniors. We have 4 of them. And as I said earlier, after they receive their award, they will... Oops. Sorry. Just kidding. Next I would like to give an award to Anna, who's not a senior. So Anna's award is for energy. And Anna's friends might be surprised to hear her get an award for energy, but I am not. Oftentimes people see Annalisa sprawled out on the couch at Banyan House, which is our girls' dorm, sort of like a cat. And certainly she does know how to take a nap in the sunshine after school for a few hours. However, there's another side to Anna. For those of you who don't know, Anna, before coming here, competed and completed a Spartan race, which is a very intense and physically demanding competition, which requires intense discipline and training. When Anna is motivated and passionate about something, there's a certain part of her that activates. And through that passion and through that meaning, she becomes a very different person. Especially when she's challenged or when there are obstacles in her way, sometimes teachers. She can move mountains, and also teachers. And also when she needs help, when her friends need help, she truly knows how to move energy. I think that Anna's beginning a long journey of figuring out what it means to be a Scorpio with a lot of power. And this year she's had the opportunity to open up to herself with total honesty and total trust to whatever the future may bring and whatever part she may have to play in it. I know that she has some great thing to do for the world. When she came here, she was interested in politics and political affairs, international affairs. She wanted to go to the top schools in Europe and probably run for president of the Czech Republic from where she comes. I'm not sure if she still wants to do that, but I know that she could if she wanted to, truly wanted to. And I know that whatever she sets her heart to do and her mind to do, she has the discipline and strength and focus and sheer energy to accomplish it. So for energy, Anna.
A year ago, when I was not able to work with my energy, I used to nap a lot. I never wanted to do anything, but I improved. I've learned a lot about myself. I have a lot of energy. I just need to want to actually use it. However, it is still difficult for me to hold on to it and not to get lazy. It also helped me to have peace within myself and better relationships and connections with people. Not only with people from the school, but people I barely know or would never talk to on regular circumstances. Well, my goal now is to keep this attitude despite being so far away from peaceful Ananda and not to forget everything I gained. I'm scared to lose it all I've talked about, but I will remind myself every day not to forget. And I will hold on, I promise.